have a passionate message, the solution to a problem, a new book or product launch. This channel interviews the movers and shakers in their niche. Watch the shows on this channel and be inspired, or connect with the opportunities that offer a solution to your problem. PSI TV gives content creators a TV experience, increase their visibility to a new audience, and allow them to demonstrate their authority on their subject matter to you. Beyond ads, biz brands can also have a channel presence with their content. We are the Netflix of biz brands. My guest today is Pat Backley. She has waited 69 years to publish her first book, but once she did, she just kept writing. And Pat is now the author of many books and has multiple titles in the pipeline for the upcoming years. Pat, so awesome to have you as my guest today.
Thank you so much, Trudy. I'm delighted to be here. Hi, everybody. This is Pat Backley from patbackley.com, and you're watching PSI TV.
Ah, wow. Okay, awesome. Now, Pat, it appears as if you finally found your true calling. You did it a little late in life. What would you say to the 55 plus generation, of which I'm a part, who may be wondering if all that is left is to grow old and die? What would you say to them?
Okay, well, the first thing I'd say without a shadow of doubt is it's never too late. This is the best career I've ever had, and it happened quite unexpectedly. My husband of 26 years dumped me, and then COVID hit. I was all alone, very bored and unhappy, lying on my sofa, eating too much chocolate and watching rubbish on Netflix. And then I thought, Pat, after 2 weeks, I thought, Pat, this is ridiculous. Just get a grip. Why don't you write a book? So I did. And my first book was born.
Fantastic. Now, before you became an author, what was your career?
Well, I've had very varied careers. I left school at 16. I came from a family where there wasn't an opportunity to go on to university. So I spent 10 years in banking. Then I spent about 5 years working for various major charities, helping with their fundraising and public speaking. Then I ran my own businesses for a few years. I had furniture shops and a childcare centre and a construction industry assessment centre. And then I did some property developing, and now I'm an author. So
there you go. There you go. So Pat, your first book, Daisy, was a novel. How different now that you've had, written many books, how different is the writing process for you now compared to what it took of you to deliver Daisy to the world?
Okay, well, I've been writing for 18 months, so not very long at all. And I always thought maybe I didn't have a very good brain, like I never achieved very much academically and stuff like that. So it was a bit of a challenge to think, would anyone want to read my writing? I wrote Daisy in 3 weeks. I sat up day and night writing it. And to be perfectly honest, Trudy, it's easy. I just find writing so easy. It's like somebody's taken off the top of my head and 70 years worth of words are just flying out because I sit at my computer and I just type, 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 type. Wonderful.
The interesting thing is
fiction book, be quite fun. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but they'll both be published later this year.
Fantastic. Now, you have 6 books out, right? So I would love to hear about all the books and the ones to come. How about you try and choose one of those babies? I don't know how you're going to do that, but choose one and give the reader an idea of what they would look forward to if they did grab that book.
Okay, well, my first book, Daisy, it's a historical family saga. It spans from 1887 to 1974 and is set in London, Alabama and Harlem. And it follows the lives of 3 quite different families as they intertwine over the years. It touches on some tricky subjects like racism, slavery, poverty, and a lot of good things. So, and the sequel I'm writing now, just before Christmas, I get muddled how many books I've done. Just before Christmas, I published the sequel, which continues the story up to the new millennium, the year 2000.
So in your background, we can see Daisy.
Yes.
Yes, and on the other side of you too.
Yeah, and then the sequel, the second Daisy.
Daisy, right? And it looks like you've got Valentine George.
Oh, Valentine George, that's one of my new ones. And 70 Years Worth of Travel, that's one of my new ones. And then From There to Here is my personal memoirs. And then the Warrior Women Project, that's very exciting. I did that last year with 21 other women. Telling
like an
stories
anthology.
of my immigration. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right. So you've done all this different types of writing. What genre or writing style would you say best describes your work?
I would say definitely historical fiction. And memoirs, because of course I'm a historical figure, being 71 years old. So I would say historical fiction and memoirs. That's what I do.
Okay, when I was looking you up, I came across the phrase social history. What does that mean to you?
That means to me the stories of ordinary people, their day-to-day lives, how they reacted with world events like the world wars and all that kind of thing, how it affected them. That's my interpretation. I'm sure that's not an academic's interpretation of social history, but it's mine.
Well, it's yours that matters right now, Pat.
Exactly.
It's yours that matters right now. So we'll just go with that. How about that, right? So Pat, is there anything else you'd like to share? Another book, anything? What else would you like to share?
I think I would just like to say this is my very latest book. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, I can.
70 Years Worth of Travels. I was at an online author conference a few months ago, and I was mesmerized by this very attractive young Italian travel writer who was telling his story. And I thought I could do that. I could write a travel memoir. I've done some great traveling in 70 years. So I just came off the computer and type. And again, in a few weeks, did that. And that's lovely because, and I think this is very applicable to your listeners, if once we die, our stories die with us. People will know little snippets of your life, but they won't know the whole thing. So I would encourage your readers to write their memories down or record them in some way, because their children and grandchildren will be so grateful.
Yes. And since we're both in the 55 plus, so you're a little bit
I'm rather more plus than you are.
Yes, a little bit more senior, but I'm going to piggyback on what you just said and encourage. A lot of those retirees, they're getting away from the day-to-day of, structured lifestyle with jobs and all of that. Kids are growing, all of that. You're right. A lot of them do travel, but why not fill in the gaps with some book writing, right? I think
absolutely. I couldn't recommend it highly enough. 2 years ago, my life was in total disarray. I lost everything. I lost my husband, blah, blah, all that stuff. And I had no idea that I was going to suddenly have this wonderful new career, this wonderful new life. And if I'd continued sitting on my sofa eating chocolate and watching Netflix, it would never have happened. And it's very easy to drift. I could easily have drifted into that for the next 20 years. But as it is, with my new author career, I'm going to write till I die. So perfect.
Yes, and you just seem to have so much life and energy and so much to look forward to. Your next book, your next idea. Well, that's fantastic. So, Pat Backley, thank you so much for being my guest. And ladies and gentlemen, I will put her website in the credits for you, but you must go and check out patbackley.com. PatBackley.com, patbackley.com, and you will learn a little bit more about Pat's interesting history. She could not share 71 years with us today, but also you get to learn a little bit more of each of her many books and the ones that are coming up. So thank you so much for being my guest today, Pat.
Thank you so much, Trudy, for having me. It's been such fun. I could talk to you for hours. Thank you.
Same here.